All right, residing from Mendham, New Jersey, we have Miss Haley Keith. How are you?
I'm doing good, ready to get down to business here.
And the Boston native who needs no introduction,
Sean Mason.
All right, so let's get it started. And for hopefully the last time this season, A-Rod is having his name in the news as he's sitting out this weekend to get ready for his September 30th appeal. Is he honoring Mariano Rivera, or is he just being selfish?
A-Rod this is very respectful. He's honoring Mariano Rivera very well here. This is about Mariano. It's not about A-Rod. If A-Rod was there, he would just be bombarded with a million questions about, oh, how are you preparing for your suspension? I mean, it's not like the Yankees are even in the playoffs anymore. They're out of playoff contention. A-Rod he's not a productive player as well. He's only hitting .244 this year. I think it's respectful for him to not to be there. As much as I don't like A-Rod, it's a good move.
I love how the Boston native throws in A-Rod's batting average there, but yeah, I do have to agree with you.
Where do I kick a man when he's down?
Yeah, seriously,
Gosh.
man. I mean, I do think A-Rod has good intentions. You know, you have to believe that he talked to Mo about this decision. You have to believe that there was some conversation, you know, in the locker room or behind, you know, media lines. I think he doesn't want to take away from Mo's last games. And I think it's as simple as that. I think
so.
He's
Just to
trying
be
be
clear, you
respectful.
guys are both saying that a guy that has used PEDs is facing a 211-game suspension from Major League Baseball is doing this out of the goodness of his own heart. I'll let you guys decide on that one.
I don't think he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart. I just think maybe he just wants to prepare himself more for his appeal to reduce that 211-game suspension.
I don't know, maybe he's playing
That's
towards
all
the media.
garbage. That is all garbage. Guys, we got to move on. Enough A-Rod talk. I'm sick of it. MLB
Good.
Commissioner Bud Selig announced that he will be retiring after the end of the 2014 season. There's been some good during his tenure. There's been some bad in his tenure. How do you guys judge it?
He's had a very up and down, tenure here. I mean, he had a lot of good and a lot of bad.
I just said that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just restating. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's good.
He was the commissioner through the steroid era. I mean, they had the 2002 All-Star game where it was a tie. I mean, that's pretty bad. But he saved baseball after the strike because he
Saved baseball.
Yeah, he did. He saved. He saved baseball.
Give this guy a saint award or whatever. Knight him.
Okay, that's pushing it. But continue.
I mean, he became the acting commissioner in '92. He was the permanent commissioner in '98. He's been there for over 2 decades. Depending on where you mark his actual starting as commissioner, it's his time. It's his time to move on. He's done, like you said, a lot of good, a lot of bad. He's been through a lot. He's pretty much seen almost all of it. It's time for him to, let go.
Well, if you take out the steroid era, he's done pretty darn good. I mean, expanding.
I mean, come on. I mean,
if you take out everything but the worst moment in professional sports history in America, he's done a pretty good job.
You think that's the
Right.
worst moment in sports history? What about 1919, the Black Sox?
I knew you were
Come
going to
on.
bring that
Let's
up.
go. 1919, the Black Sox.
Nah, man, get this kid out of here.
This is what happens when we bring in someone from Boston. Anyway, the NBA announced that the All-Star Game is heading to New York for the 2015 All-Star Game, as Brooklyn will hold the dunk contest and the Garden will get the All-Star Game. Do you like them splitting it up between the Nets and the Knicks like that?
I absolutely love it. This is great
Oh.
for the NBA. You basically have half of the NBA All-Star festivities in Brooklyn at the new Barclays Center.
New Jersey.
In Brooklyn, which is a beautiful arena. It's brand new, and then you have the game in the world's most famous sporting arena in Madison Square Garden. I love it. This is great for the game.
All right, whatever, but let's call it what it is. It's a money-making scheme. Let's just throw that out there how it is right
for
now.
For financial analysts, let's turn to Haley Keith.
Come on, I mean, individual tickets for each separate borough. I feel like it kind of takes away from it a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have the full atmosphere in Manhattan around Madison Square Garden. It doesn't have that full-on feel. I mean, have you ever traveled to Brooklyn?
I've personally never been to Brooklyn,
It's
but
a pain.
I mean, I would love
That's
to go.
exactly
I want
what
to
it
see
is.
the
It's
Barclays.
a
I want to
pain.
go to the Barclays Center, though. It's a beautiful arena.
Go at a different time.
Well,
Don't
I would
for
love to go to the
playoffs.
Barclays.
So you're saying that the Nets should pretty much get the short end of the stick, what else is new? Speaking of someone else getting the shorter end of the stick, Carlos Gomez got into a bit of hot water Wednesday after he was yelling at the Atlanta Braves while trotting around the bases. This is in response to the same pitcher on the night, Mulholland, who caused Gomez to miss 3 games 2 months ago after he hit him by a pitch. Is this Carlos Gomez getting revenge or just being an idiot?
I think it's Gomez is getting revenge. He was hit, like you said, he was hit 2 months ago by Mulholland. The Braves have done this in the past this season. They hit Bryce Harper after Harper had hit a home run, and he took too long to get around the bases. That's baseball. Jose Fernandez, a rookie pitcher for the Marlins, also hit a home run, took a little too long to get out of the bases, and Brian McCann got in his face. All I'm going to say is if the Braves are going to hit a guy, I mean, you can't get mad, if they're going to try to stand you up with a home run by walking too slow or watching it leave the park. I don't like it. I'm all for Carlos Gomez. Take your revenge. It's okay.
I think it was an idiot taking revenge. That's what I think. I think he made a big deal about a thing that happened 2 months ago, and he let everybody know that he had not forgotten about it. He let the first baseman know. He let the catcher know. He let the pitcher know. He let the entire team know. He let the entire benches. He let the entire stadium know he was not over it. He was taking revenge. I mean, you saw him standing there, staring down home. Just as soon as he hit that home run, that's exactly what happened. And he stood there, he took his sweet time, and he yacked the entire time around the benches.
That's why I love it.
And I got to give it to McCann for standing in his way.
Brian McCann's a punk. He did this to a guy on the Marlins this past year, and also
Jose Fernandez.
Brewers PR. Like this past season, the most times you got on SportsCenter are A for Braun and B for Carlos Gomez doing whatever Carlos Gomez wants to do. How about some actual baseball headlines from the Brewers for once? Is that too much to ask?
Yes.
Speaking of what seems to be too much to ask for, good officiating in Major League Baseball. Let's check out this Phillies-Marlins game as you in Miami the other night, and the play is obviously going down. He swipes for it, doesn't quite get the guy, but yet the official calls him out anyway. Is this good is this bad officiating or better acting?
This is by far one of the worst calls I've ever seen. Clearly, he didn't have the ball.
Better than Armando Galarraga getting declined.
This isn't even a bad call. This is a terrible call. He didn't even have the ball in that hand. It was his bare hand, like 5-year-olds playing tag. That's exactly what it looked like. He knew he wasn't getting close.
Face off, we love trick shots. And check out this one from an University of Arkansas frat this past week. And as you can see here, they are doing their thing, hanging out, just doing some trick shots. And my question is, how long do you think that this took? Because that one dude out in the left corner, he was just sitting back.
Oh, I know. He's just sitting there, just sitting in his chair like, man, I'm tired of this. I don't even want to watch the 5,000th try to get this into the hoop. I totally agree.
This must have taken hours,
days
if not
even.
days or weeks to do this. I don't know how long, that guy in the corner over there, he looked like he was probably dude, I graduated 4 years ago. We're still trying to figure this out here. When they finally hit it, hey, give them credit. They finally hit it and they got it on video. What I wonder is how many cameras did they have to use?
I want to know how they came up with that shot. It was probably just a bunch of guys
sitting around
hey, man, I'm going to try and hit it off that roof. Then bounce it off that roof, then bounce it down and get into that hoop.
I'm not buying the fact that is an actual video. I know that the ball never left the frame. But you can, as we all know, you can do some pretty amazing stuff in post-production, like we probably will do with this show. But is it real? Do you really think it's real?
I think it could be real. I mean, lucky stuff like that happens, every once in a while.
I'm about 80-20. I think it's real. 80-20 range.
You got some really good tech guy in there, though. I mean,
that is true. I don't know how their broadcasting department is, but kudos.
Seriously.
You fooled America, and for that, we salute
Good job.
you.
We salute you.
So from one totally outlandish thing to a pretty awesome thing, Navy's swimming and diving team put a naval spin on an American historical classic when the 2013-2014 team recreated the iconic World War II photo of the raising the flag at Iwo Jima. Guys, I love this. I think that when you break it down, this is one of the few things that embodies what sports is all about. A bunch of guys that they compete so hard for each other, especially going to the Navy Academy.
Yeah.
That can't be easy. So my thoughts and what I want to hear from you guys is, do you think it's tacky, or do you think it's a great honor that they did this?
Utmost respect. I mean, like, they showed basically, like, we respect what they did at Iwo Jima. It's just, I don't know, it's a great respect from the Naval Academy. I mean, the guys work very, very hard, and they're just, they're having fun, and they did something respectful. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that if this were to be any other, some random frat at some random school or something like that, it could be portrayed as tacky and insensitive. But I think because it was the Navy and it was people and young men and young women who do give themselves to their country, I think that this was a really great thing. I think that it was awesome that they were willing to, take a piece of American history and just try and recreate it in their own creative way. I think that this was a great thing.
I just want to know, how long were they at the bottom of that pool? Because that does not look easy.
Oh, yeah, that
I
does not
personally
look
don't have the
easy.
lung capacity to do that.
I don't
But
even
good
know.
work, guys. Coming strong, as always. Coming up.